Alright, welcome to another video today. Basically, I didn't have school today, but I needed to do some tidying, so I did that for most of the day. However, now I can record a load of videos. So I've already recorded 2 civilization, history rewritten, whatever you want to call them, videos. And now I'm making a French Empire one. So, there we go. France is the 7th best economy in the world. After this, we got Italy, so that's cool. I wonder what's going to happen to you guys in the Italian video. You're going to disappear. So, France, what are you going to do today? You need to make an empire. Well, they are going to bully Andorra and Monaco into joining their empire. Makes sense. And how about some actual invasions? So, as you see, these colours are from the other videos that I've done. Go watch them. Go subscribe. Go watch them. Just go. Be free. Not free. Go do what I've told you to do. Anyway, they launch an invasion into Luxembourg, in which they take it over. And after that, they're going to draw up some lines of division in Belgium. Now, I don't know what it looks like. The Walloon Flanders thing. I believe it's something like Wallonia, something like that. I feel like that's something Flemish weavers. There's some guys who arrived in Britain. So I'm going to do it like this. I don't really know. But I've seen, because people often do it like this. And that makes more sense, because it'd be like Dutch here, French here. However, I feel like I remember seeing the Dutch having all the coastline. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it like this, and I might be wrong. I probably should have researched this. However, who cares? So the French will be annexing all of this random lowland stuff, and yeah. Anyway, it's not all good for the French, because they've got a new nefarious enemy. The British. The French would never make an alliance against the British, as in like the last episode of this series. But the British formed an empire, which is another episode that you should watch right now. No, not right now, after this. And the British capital is, of course, in London. Cool. Anyway, there's not a huge lot more the French can really invade here. They can invade the Dutch. How about we go to America then? Because the French are going to be leading an invasion into Haiti. So, Haiti. History's not been kind to you, Haiti. The French will make a landing in the north, and from there they just win. Yeah, unfortunately it's Haiti, and this is French. I tried to say French Empire in France at the same time, and it turned to French, so that's good. We have more French things occurring in North America, however, as pro-French sentiment appears in Louisiana. And this sort of area is just going to go, I love being French. So absolutely no. Nobody. No, people. I'm sorry, French people. You're probably going to win today's video anyway, so that'll be nice. But there you go. Louisiana is now part of the French Empire. And it's just scaring the Americans, because Louisiana's just left. What if you got all of Louisiana back? I don't think that's going to happen. However, it would be cool. There you go. So, going on from here, there's not much else they really want. However, Suriname and Guyana, that's an interesting idea. I don't know what your capital is, but we can make it up. It's something. This is KN, Georgetown for these guys, and something else for you lot. Anyway, the French will lead an invasion from French Guyana into Suriname. Despite the fact they haven't colonized it, I don't care, they're invading it. I would like to one day make a video where it's like more realistic and a country try to unite their entire language. So for example, it'd be like the UK tries to unite all the English-speaking countries, or France tries to unite all the French-speaking countries, like Spain for Spanish. Italian wouldn't be too tricky. German probably be alright, but there's like 6 German-speaking countries with like recognized German language. Although aren't there a lot of German speakers in Namibia? And they're not on the list. So I don't know, it's strange. The French are going to continue their assault into the north, taking all this, and it's at this point that they hit Venezuela would like to launch an invasion into Guyana. So the French worried that they're going to lose some land from Guyana. They take over all of Suriname, start an invasion, which they lead. They reach the border of Brazil. They take the remainder of the northern coast and collapse the remainder of Guyana, fully annexing these two countries into their Guyana's colony. So that's good for the French. And now everyone in Guyana is speaking French. This has angered Venezuela a lot though, because they really wanted Guyana. They don't like the Guyanans a lot. There's lots of claims on Guyana. Yeah, it's not fun being in Guyana, apparently. And this is going to prompt them into joining the British alliance. Now where's Caracas? I don't know. I have no clue. Let's say over here. It's somewhere over there. So there you go, French have done some more stuff. How about we go to Africa, France? Africa doesn't want the French back, because they weren't very nice over here. Anyway, we're only 6 minutes into this video, which is crazy. So how about we do some other invasions, such as the British invading Ireland. Yep, this is not a union like in the last episode, they just invaded Ireland. How dare they? Oh yeah, French allies will probably do in this colour. Oh, you should be a British ally. French allies can be in that colour, and no, French allies in this colour, French puppets in this colour. And the French enemies can be in in this colour. There we go. So the French are now going to lead an invasion into Senegal. Uh-oh. Actually, no, let's invade Mauritania, That's an interesting one. So, apparently they just can't click for no reason. So the Mauritanians were not prepared to fight the French Empire today. And they've brought back Napoleon, so it's really not good for you guys. The French are going to lead over to the border of Mali. And from here, it's not looking good if you're from Mali. Or from Mauritania, I mean. They split off these two northern areas. And from here we have full annexation into the French Empire. Now, there is a certain country in Africa which the French really want back. Do you know this country? I think you do. It's Algeria. The French really want this back. Well, maybe not in real life, but this used to be part of France. And they want to bring those glory days back. Also, apparently I got rid of this. I don't remember when I did that, but okay, apparently I did. Oldest alliance in the world. Britain and Portugal. France, you need to get some allies. Do that. Get some friends. How the French are going to launch an invasion into some more countries. These countries being Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Yippee. So, where's the capitals of these countries? Well, yours is in Bamako, yours is in Ouagadougou, and yours is in somewhere else. How about here? There we go. None of these guys are very strong. Mali is one of the top 22, probably top 20 largest countries there. So that's interesting. Anyway, the French managed to pretty quickly take Bamako, and we have rebels. Great stuff. No. And with that being captured, we have this region falling apart. The French will lead out from Mauritania, pushing towards the border of Burkina Faso, and then reaching the border of Ghana as the capital, Ouagadougou, is taken. I'm pretty sure it's Ouagadougou. I hope it is, because otherwise I sound like a moron. We have a new French force pushing up towards the border of Algeria, which gives the Algerians a heart attack. I shouldn't joke about heart attacks, they're bad. How they also cut off the biggest economic bit of Nigeria, or Nigeria I believe, which is this bit. Because is it wet down there? It's like a slightly, it's not desert I think. Anyway, from here the French just do another spearhead, take the capital, and end up capitulating the country before fully annexing it into the French Empire. So yeah, if you couldn't guess already, the French are basically just returning to West Africa. Again. You need to leave. Exactly. That is what came to my head, and then I just said it nothing like the meme. So, there we go. They might return here one day. However, I think the way to finish this off properly, to make these borders look really good, would be to invade Cameroon. There you go, now you've got a coastline out. No. Let's just invade Benin instead. And Benin, yeah, you're not winning this one. I also don't know where your capital is. So why don't we just say you're annexed? Because you most definitely are. There you go. Part of the French Empire. Love to see these beautiful borders. I might come back here. That's not a good sign. If you're African. Time for the French to go to Oceania though, because they're going to be launching an invasion from New Caledonia. Now New Caledonia looks a bit like the Solomon Islands. And that's good enough justification for the French to launch an invasion into the Solomon Islands. It's really not, but weren't they all one big continent? On the Solomon Islands in Zealandia. That thing they keep telling me about on YouTube. Anyway, the French will creep up these islands, just island hopping all the way until they've taken the entire island chain, and there you go. New French colony in Oceania. How about the French in Asia though? Well, there's only one place to go really. And it's a place we've never visited before in this series. The Americans, the Chinese, the Indians, the Japanese, none of these guys ever been to Indochina, an old French colony. Great. Although I think the Indians and the Japanese, oh no, just the Indians. Yeah, the Indians were nice to them, I think. Everyone else tried to murder them all. So the French are going to be declaring war on all three of these countries because they're strong. Actually, probably stronger than the British. Phnom Penh, Valenciennes, and Hanoi. There we go. It's becoming a tradition to invade Vietnam or Indochina now. Anyway, the French start their invasion from the Solomon Islands, I suppose, and they take Ho Chi Minh City and also Phnom Penh pretty easily. From here they'll push up to the northern border of Cambodia and cut off the remainder of this country, leaving a tiny strip left that quickly capitulates over to the remainder. They begin their push up Laos and make a cut-off over here in Vietnam. The Vietnamese are definitely fighting, they're just not fighting as well as the French, really. New democratic movements appear over here, however the French do not care, and they're destroyed. Lovely stuff. The French begin the slow process walking through this minefield-filled jungle. Yep, remove the minefields from Indochina, please. And before, in the end, Laos turns into a void. Yep, in the end, they managed to defeat the Laotians, along with Vietnam, and yeah. Peace treaty time. What do you think's in the peace treaty? I bet you can't guess, because it's nothing like the peace treaties we've had previously in this video, which have all been full annexation. This one's going to be total annexation. I think I'm just not funny. Anyway, it's quite a crushing moment for me. Yep, I'm sorry, any Vietnamese viewers, you probably have unsubscribed by now. But at least you subscribed at one point, you know, it's worth doing that. You should try it. It's a fulfilling thing to do. Believe me. I've given it a go. Anyway, looking around, the French need to get themselves some friends, because they've not done very well at that, and nobody wants to be a French friend. So where are the French going to find some friends? Don't you worry. Spain. The Spanish have claims on Gibraltar and Portugal. I mean, probably just Gibraltar, not really Portugal. However, I don't care. So they're going to be allying themselves with the French, and that's nice, I suppose. From here, the British, however, are going to get themselves more friends. but it's a secret alliance. So the French don't know who their friend is. Anyway, time for the French to do more invasions in Europe, because they've done all the rest of their continental stuff, or like every continent stuff. So the French begin their push into Switzerland, and the Swiss get on their mountains and launch a load of bombs into the French. However, the French are too good in this, so they take Geneva, destroy the convention, and drop a load of nukes on Switzerland. And they win. That's the French way. So yeah, in the peace treaty, we have a full annexation into the French Empire, despite all the German and Italian speakers. Nobody cares. Sorry. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. From here, the French would like to create the Napoleonic Empire again. That might be a bit tricky though, so they're going to do some fun stuff with their new friend, being Spain. Now, I don't really know about the Morocco Western Sahara situation. Is it a country? Is it not? There's barely any areas which are actually Western Saharan anymore and aren't being occupied by the Moroccans. But then there's like the whole, looks a bit like this. And what if we just, because they're fighting the French and like, these are just some random lines on a piece of paper. Just watch the pixels change color. I don't care. So the Spanish will begin the invasion into northern Morocco, taking some land and fortifying Ceuta. The French will launch an invasion towards the coast through Western Sahara, which isn't the strongest country in the world. They managed to link up these coastal areas, and from here Western Sahara is going to collapse. These areas are all taken, and also with the Spanish making a landing in southern Morocco, using the Canary Islands as a base. So you have the Spanish taking more stuff, probably taking the capital at this point. Whatever that is, I don't know. It's called something strange. You've got Marrakesh, you've got the other ones. Atlas Mountain Range. What's the capital of Morocco? I should know this. All I can think of is Rif, because there was the old Rif country that was over here in Morocco. Capital. Like Rabat, or something like that. I think Casablanca. It might be Rabat. I'm going to say it is Rabat. Good enough. Anyway, so they've taken Rabat, I suppose. Whether or not that's the capital, the French will continue their push from their Mauritanian country colony thing, meeting up with the Spanish as the two of them work forward into Morocco, for their forces eventually meet in the Sahara Desert and the Atlas Mountains. And how about a peace treaty time? I think so. Within the peace treaty, the Moroccans will take all of this, whilst the French get to annex everything else. Lovely stuff. And you know what's even better about this? It gives the French a nice, huge border on Algeria. And I mean, that's pretty good if you're French. But definitely not if you're Algerian, so be scared. Algeria? From here, the French will launch their invasion into Algeria, starting off by making a landing at Algiers and immediately taking the city. We have French troops moving in all around the Sahara Desert area, making their way close to the border of Tunisia. They continue along the many pretty rich cities up here on the northern coast of Algeria. And I mean, the Algerians are putting up a fight, however, I think they're going to win this fight. They're going to snake their way up the border of Tunisia and Libya, before eventually meeting up with this front. Algerians managed to hold out with guerrilla groups in the middle of the Sahara Desert, however spearhead towards the guerrilla groups. That's interesting tactics. You know, the word guerrilla is probably French. I'm not sure, but the French word for war is guerre. Yeah, I know it's guerre. Guerre. I don't know why I had to think about that so much. Anyway, they've trapped a load of the guerrilla fighters down here in this bit of desert, so they take the rest of it, and eventually take the remainder of the country for fully annexing it. What if we made the borders look like this? No, the French already have enough of West Africa that I cannot let that happen. So now the French have done their favourite thing. They've annexed a load of Algeria. Great stuff. And also, I might want to point out, the northern coast of Algeria is actually a part of France proper. The remainder of it is just a colony, but the northern coast, that's just French. It's just France, you know. We've got some nice colonies though. Is that every continent? I believe it is. Should be. Anyway, how about we attack some actually strong countries? How about Italy? So the French declare war on the Italians. That was unexpected. And they immediately move in and take Sardinia. And we also have Swiss groups coming out of Switzerland, trying to take some of these Alpine regions. The French also move through the Alps, and it's not looking good for the Italians. So these Alpine groups manage to link up a little bit, and a landing is made in Sicily. Now, Italy is a very strong country, however, they've not been making an empire like the French have, so it doesn't go as well. The Vatican becomes a French ally and redeclares the Papal States. So that's interesting. With French sponsorship, the Vatican City moved towards San Marino before annexing that and declaring war on it, or doing that in the reverse order. They declare war on San Marino before annexing it. As for the remainder of northern Italy, it falls over to the French, and within the peace treaty, we have full annexation. However, I want to fix these borders, so let's make them better. Because I know what the Papal States looks like, however, I don't want it to look like that. How about something like this? I feel like that might work. Possibly. Maybe. It doesn't really matter. It's the Vatican City, but stronger. It's the country who's lost the highest percentage of their total possible ever land territory. Cool. But new French ally nonetheless, and now they've got Rome. So that's scary. And the remainder of Italy will live on. And the French, do they want to divide Sicily? Let's just let, no, the French take it. This is Napoleon we've got here, leading the French. We had not Washington, oh my god, Winston leading the British. So we can definitely have Napoleon leading the French. Winston's still better, but like, you know. Oh well. Sorry, it turns out my throat hurts a bit now, because I've been talking in 3 different videos. And 3 videos is quite a lot of videos. Anyway, how about we do the final war of today's episode, that being the British declare war on the French. Sorry. So the British will manage to make a landing over here in Brittany, or Normandy actually. Let's go over there. It's going to have to be in this colour. And the French are like, what? And then the French take the Channel Islands. However, another country has just joined the British alliance, and it's Germany. That's not good. That's really not good. So the capital Berlin is put in, and yeah, the British are going to return to Normandy as the Germans push through the Alsace region and do pretty well in taking some French territories. The southern Italians can't join this war. That's because they just signed a peace treaty with the French and the Vatican. Over here in Iberia, the Spanish are doing very well at taking down the Portuguese, as they start to push some of the southern and northern regions of the country. Good. Over here in the Americas, though, not as good, because Venezuela had a huge load of military investment, and they're already taking a lot of stuff out of the Guyana region, possibly getting close to taking things from Suriname, which I think they've reached now. Uh-oh for the French. Anywhere else is there stuff happening? No, because nobody cares. Anyone in Africa gonna join this war? No, they're not, incidentally, because this war is messy enough already, especially so as the Germans take the capital of France, Paris. Yeah, and the French lose this scenario just because they're French. No, I like French people. Oh, well. France is an interesting place. It's got really interesting history. It's really cool. I like that Britain and France have better relations now, and I think we should appreciate French people, and we shouldn't make fun of them. And I should probably stop in this episode. It's just like it's a cultural thing, you know. I'm sure they do it to us, and if they don't, I'm sorry, French people. Like the Americans say mean stuff about good old Britain, so yeah. For old Britain. We weren't that. Yeah, we kind of were. Anyway, as for Portugal, though, not going well for you guys. The British can't really send you that much support because they're the villains in this scenario. So Portugal will lose Lisbon, followed by Porto, which is slightly north, and yes, Spain wins that. Over here in the Americas, though, Spain needs to arrive quick, because Venezuela's just made some huge advancements into Suriname, and it's looking like the French Guianan region might be under threat now. And that's not what you want to happen. Well, to be honest, France might just need to worry about themselves, actually. That might not be a terrible idea, because the Germans are doing pretty well at taking stuff from the French, and we have a new Venetian uprising within the French country. And that's not good. It's really not good. If only the French had an ally that could help them fight the Germans, and possibly the British, but more the Germans, because they could have beaten the British in this scenario. Well, they don't really, so yeah, Spain arrives in the Americas, and they start pushing the Venezuelans out of the Guyanas. It's good of them. But also they colonize the Venezuelans, so this is probably quite scary, Venezuela. Oh well. France found an ally. It's Poland. It makes a lot of sense, really, if you think about it. Poland will join the war against Germany, and Germany was not thinking that Poland would join this war, for obvious reasons. So Poland makes an invasion and captures Berlin. Most of the stuff's in the west anyway, so like, yeah. The Venetian uprising is put down, brutally, by the French. We also have them recapturing Paris and this random bit near Paris. Lovely stuff from the French. However, the British and the Germans are still occupying a lot of territory, and Poland isn't going to fix all of your problems. You know who will, though? The Netherlands. You know, you gave the Netherlands some stuff today, and that was a very nice thing to do. So now the Netherlands has joined the war on the side of the French, who is you. And this means that they too can start pushing into the Rhine, but they're not also pushing into the Rhine, they're also pushing into Germany now. And the Polish front line is going quite well. The French had lots of stuff stationed in Poland. They predicted the Germans. Well, they didn't really, but they had Poland just in case. They even managed to reconnect up with Belgium, Netherlands, and they've launched their invasion into the opposite of Alsace-Lorraine. We have a massive Bavarian uprising appear in Germany, and it's not looking good if you're German. Speaking of uprisings, yeah, how about Irish uprising? It's not good if you're British. So all of Ireland goes up in the flames of revolt, and that's really not good. We also have the French making a landing over here in Devon and Cornwall on this bit, and yeah, the British might be about to collapse, along with the Germans though, because the Dutch and the Polish have met up in northern Germany in Schleswig-Holstein. The French have also forced the British out of Normandy and that area. And moving back over to the Americas, the Spanish have started invading into Venezuela as they move across the coast and finally arrive in Caracas, taking the city and advancing the front line even further into Venezuela. Lovely stuff from the Spanish. I suppose also the Haitians, but Haiti's not doing much. On earthquake watch. I'm sorry, Haiti. Haiti's a very unlucky country. The Netherlands will continue to push around this area, and at this point the Germans will agree to peace. However, the British, yeah, they're not going to stop. They need to keep fighting against the French. You know, you might win against this 5-country coalition. Anyway, so the Scots go up and the flames of revolt. Lovely stuff. The Dutch make a landing over here in London and take the city, along with lots of East Anglia. The French connect up with Cardiff, taking that, and moving across all of Wales. We have the French and the Dutch racing up opposite sides of Britain, the French to the west and the Dutch on the east, before finally the UK will capitulate. So, looking at a peace treaty, we have all of Portugal going to the Spanish, so the opposite of last episode, although not all of Spain went to Portugal, it's just they got puppeted by the British. But this time, Portugal's too small, so they get annexed. The French will regain all their stuff that was taken from them, and they're also going to take some stuff from Germany, so that's good if you're French. I don't know, I keep saying sentences like that, and it confuses me. The Dutch will take this, and the Polish will take all of these territories, whilst the Germans end up looking like this, and we have a new French puppet, Bavaria, being created. Bavaria's capital, we're going to put it in Munich. I don't know what Bavaria's capital is. So it's Munich now. Probably is Munich, that makes the most sense to me. As for the remainder of Germany, how about that also becomes a French puppet? And the capital of this, I'm going to say Cologne is still inside of Germany, so that's good enough for me. And Cologne's a big German city. Oh yeah, Venezuela was meant to capitulate. They did, don't worry. The French will take all of this. I also let them take some of this stuff as well. Yeah, we'll let them take all this stuff from the UK. Scotland and Ireland will both receive their independence, with them both becoming French allies. Maybe Ireland is an ally, probably. But the Scottish, I assume, will probably become a French puppet. So there you go for Scotland. I just think the fact that the French helped create their revolution, and they're less of like an actual, like, meh, they're not quite as independent as the Irish have been, or are, right now. As for the Netherlands, they're going to get basically the mirror image to what the French got, taking this. They take East Anglia, London, they just take a $1 trillion city. Lovely stuff. And the remainder of it will stay as the United Kingdom. Great. The UK looks a bit sad at this point. The capital of the new United Kingdom will probably go in... Oh, we've got Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, probably. Maybe not, that's like over here, this bit. Let's put it in Liverpool, good enough. We're all scouts now. Ireland's capital is in Dublin, yours is in Edinburgh. In Germany puppeted. Back over to the Americas though. This stuff that was captured by the Spanish is all going to go to the French, because that's how this relationship works. Meanwhile, the Spanish will take the remainder of the stuff that they captured later on, off camera. So there you go. Nice. The Guyanas is more of the Guyanas. And the Spanish have a colony. And they've this one, and one down there. So there you go. The French formed a pretty huge empire today. Maybe not as big as the British one. I mean, I'm not judging. It's a relatively nice empire. You know, you took down the UK, and you got yourself some good allies. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye. Have a nice rest of your day.